What's going on? Back again with another video. This time we're going to talk about what I think the market is going to do for next week, probably into the first week of September, closing off August, and the moves that I think happen afterwards. Before we get into the video, what I need you to do is subscribe to the channel, put your notifications on so that you can be alerted when I make another video. If you like the video at the end of this, give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody that you may think could use this information in any way. Let's build this channel up. Also, if you are on Facebook, I have a Facebook forum. And right now, as you can see, there's only 4 members in the group. I just started it. So let's get this group also filled up. Outside of that, if you're into Discord, join the Discord. The Discord is a paid membership. It is $30 a month. That is $1 a day. That is very cheap to be getting the alerts that I give out, which in most cases puts some decent money in your pocket, right? So if I just go down to the profit room in here real quick, I'll let you see what's going on. Couple small wins, a lot of bigger wins. Countless wins back to back. So if you're looking for a place to call home that's serious, that's not a gimmick, that's not trying to just take your money and run with it, join the Discord. You'll be happy you did. With that said, let's hop right into these charts and what I think is going to happen for next week into the following week of September. And from there, we'll figure it out. So this video isn't going to be long. I normally go through drawing everything during the videos, but this time, since there's so much going on, these videos are already, or these charts I should say, are already set up, and I'll just go over them. So across the market, we are looking to roughly double tap, triple tap, depends on time frame you're looking at, but double tap, triple tap roughly, right? So in that whole situation, we have all of these charts forming what I like to call diamond taps. You can just look at this as a period of consolidation. I had the period of consolidation drawn up in my head before we got to this point. So if you saw any of my previous videos, you would know why we're consolidating at this section right here. What I would like to see from here is the market double tap right here. Out of this double tap, I want to see it drop out of here, potentially make a bounce back up to here. Doesn't have to, can just drop and go straight down. But potentially I want to see it drop down, bounce back up, and then continue to drop until we hit this 543 area, 544 area, maybe 545 on the spot, right? My target is 545, but as you can see with consolidation, it's not just a straight line, right? So after we reach the target, I want to see this probably dip down a little lower than the target, come back up, kind of consolidate around the target, and then break out again. So if you're following this chart, for those of you that are in my Discord, the chart is in the Discord, and all you got to do is follow this M and just play accordingly. I don't try to time anything. These moves can take longer or shorter times. Like this can just drop, or it can just take its time coming down. So I don't try to time anything. So you want to play with time to these targets. Also, with saying that, again, how I said I don't time anything. but we use common sense in timing of I would say the distance of how far we're going to go out or how far we're going to take these plays out, right? So you don't have to take it out 3 months because it's not going to take 3 months to do it. So if I were just to take this tool right here, which is like a date range tool, I could draw the range from the beginning of this to, let's say, the end of this, right? The end of this shape. Roughly, we get August 28th, right? And then potentially, if I'm saying that we kind of make a wedge out of this to come down, if I were to draw the wedge out to here, then we get like September 3rd, right? So anytime between the end of the month and I would say like September 3rd, September 6th, we should hit the target. So the 6th of September is the end of the first trading week of September. So anytime between the 30th and the 6th of September is where I would be looking to buy puts and hold them more or less into that direction. Not saying that you need to hold it the whole time. If it drops down on a nice IV spike, then take the money and reposition if it bounces. Then you can get in again for the same plays going back down. So all in all, this is what is supposed to happen in my eyes, is that we're breaking out of this downtrend right here. So if I squeeze the screen real quick, you can see that we had this downtrend line right here. We're breaking out of this, right? So, or that's where we broke out from. After we had a breakout, we need to come back and retest that area, right? Right now we broke out. We have a consolidation or an accumulation. Then we're going to have a move to the downside, which is the manipulation, where people are going to think, oh, we're about to drop again. Then we're going to have the distribution, where money just goes up and continues to go in the direction opposite of the manipulation. So the manipulation could go up and then it can drop. In my opinion, the manipulation is down this time and we're going to continue up. I believe that the market is going to continue going up. We're not going backwards. We don't have to drop down to 300. And I discussed that in another video, why I think that the market is more or less where it's supposed to be right now. And you can't just get caught up in everything that they're talking about. Fear is one thing to control the masses. So if they always pump fear in you, saying, "Oh, recession, recession," I believe that we've gone through the recession already, right? We were in a pretty bad recession, I would say, during like COVID and everything. It seemed good because they pumped money into the recession, so people were walking around with money, but now they're taking it all back. And like this is like the back end of the recession now, right? Where prices are going up and things are seeming like how we're supposed to pay for things. So just off this chart, in my opinion, we go down, we continue up. We already dealt with the brunt of the recession. Now we're just trying to figure out how to even things out and work things out. All right. So this is the SPY chart. Now, again, across the market, everything more or less is giving me the thought from these charts that more or less everything is doing the same thing. All right. So on the QQQ. So same thing, similar on the QQQ. Same diamond pattern. If we go and look at the QQQ downtrend, we see that we broke out from right here. We're consolidating now, so this is the accumulation. We're about to have the manipulation on the move down, and then we should break out again. So if I make this a little bigger so we can see what's going on. Let me slide this down just slightly. You can see that we had the breakout from this area. We should retest this area. So between like 163 and 160, I would say is our retest area. Out of this retest area, we should break out and go higher. So right now I'm looking for this double top. Out of this double top, I want to see the price go down. I want to see it bounce maybe around 470, 468 area. And then I want to see a move back up, possibly to retest this breakdown and drop again, right, into the target. Same thing with SPX and NDX. Similar moves to the SPY and the QQQ, except that these just cost a little more. The SPX is the cheaper of the two. I would say if you're going to play the SPX, if you can, play it with time. I'm saying 2 weeks. I'm saying to the 6th, but there is a possibility that this can happen this week and you can play till Friday. But out of safety, I would play to the 6th. You probably make similar money playing now or playing to the 6th. Slightly a little more playing to the 6th if it happens early, just because the contract is closer and it's kind of like you saying like it's a definite that it's going to happen this week. Whereas next week you'll probably make close to what you make with a weekly contract. You're just putting out a little more money for the safety in it. So again, same exact thing as the SPY. We double tap, we drop, come back up. Hopefully we do this, retest potentially, and then drop back down here and finish this retest and then take off again. NDX, similar on the NDX. NDX, we just had a diamond breakout right here, like a diamond bottom breakout out of NDX. So NDX broke out from this chart pattern here, this downtrend, same downtrend as the QQQ, but then it kind of had this consolidation here before it broke out again to the upside. So when I look at this, I want to say that there's a possibility that after we double tap on this one and we break down, that we could come right back here to retesting this area right here, which is like 19,050, 19,047, 19,050. So we come around here and then break out again. Or what could possibly happen is that we crash right past that point and we come down here to the actual breakout area where we broke out already. So same thing, we got to break out, we got to retest. This is the retest that we're looking for. We have the double tap, potential double tap. We have the potential breakdown, and then we have the potential retest of that breakdown. So when it comes down, then it goes back up, then after it drops again. And these moves aren't big going back up. So 19,237 to 19,527, right? That's only like 300 points. That's nothing, right? So if you look at it on the QQQ real quick, 68 back to 75, nothing. That's small move, right? Next, we got Meta. So with Meta, what I see happening, if I bring this back a little bit so we can see the whole chart pattern. If you go watch the videos that I dropped on Meta since March, this is the entire exact move that I predicted from March, right? So now we are getting ready to go into September, and what I think is going to happen next is that we finish this ascending triangle and get ready to break out. So we have an accumulation right here. We have a manipulation to the downside. Then we have a move to the upside that is called considered distribution, right? Same thing that we had prior on all the other ones, right? Everything else that we just looked at. The position of everything was just a little different. So in this case, we can see that we have this cup kind of building, right? So we had the accumulation, we had the manipulation, we had the distribution, right? So this right here, we have like a rounding top thing kind of building. And it's not to say that this is going to make a rounding top and then drop, right? This, because in my opinion, it makes the rounding top and it makes the handle, but this is a failed move, right? And it doesn't break down. And it could, don't get me wrong, this could make this happen. This can go up and fake the distribution, then it can just drop, right? And everybody might get their wish that the market is falling apart. But in my opinion, we finish this move here, we drop down here, we distribute here, and then this is where we just gotta watch, right? So if we can break over 545, then the market should continue up, and my next targets are 550 to 562 outside of what's going on. But then long term, my targets would be more like 600, 700 for Meta, right? But that's another video, right? Um, but yeah, this is my thought process on Meta right here. And again, we should be coming back to retest 488. Now, if this happens between now and September 6th, then so be it, right? So I would go 2 weeks out on any of these plays just for the security and so that theta doesn't eat up the contracts. Last but not least, we got Tesla. And Tesla, again, playing out exactly how I said. If I go to a higher time frame real quick and we take a look at it, I called this whole drop from the top here down on Tesla maybe like 2 weeks before it even happened. And then we dropped down here. As soon as we dropped down here, I bought Tesla calls, and I'm still in Tesla calls, and I'll be holding those calls um, until who knows when, right? Hopefully, I'm in with enough time that I don't have to jump out and reposition. But if so, then I got to jump out and reposition. But right now, this is an inverse head and shoulders, and we're getting ready to break out of that. Before I get into that inverse head and shoulders, I've said this on another video before, but Tesla is in the biggest inverse head and shoulders in the market. And I say this to say, when I talk about the Elliott wave in a different manner than other people would talk about it. So, in my opinion, the Elliott wave is just patterns that recreate themselves over and over again, all the way out into the breakout of it, right? Here you can see we have the biggest head and shoulders, right? Inverse head and shoulders. Then you can see throughout this whole time, there were other instances of the inverse head and shoulders. Even if they failed, there were still other instances of the inverse head and shoulders. So there was about 3 big ones on here. And now you can see that this was the last one that we just recently made, right? We broke down, came here, popped up, had this big move up here, back down here into the shoulder. I watched the videos. We called this out before it even happened. We go back here into this shoulder now. We can see that there's a smaller one being made right now in this shoulder, right? So let's go down a little further in time so we can kind of pinpoint what's going on right now. So now we're building this shoulder. In my opinion, we have a move to come back down to about 210, right? Another double top situation, and then a move down, breaks down to about let's say like 514, maybe 513, 512. I'm sorry, 213, 214, 212, and then bounces back up. We hit 216, and then we break down to 210. After we get the 210, I want to say that the market then has this rebound and starts breaking out to the upside. First target would be 226, then 233. Outside of 233, then we got 242, 243. After that, this should break out towards 272 to 290, right? Once we hit these marks up here, we should start pushing up to the upside. And my other targets are erased, but my other targets are 300, and then obviously the next huge target, 400. So from down here is where 400 calls should have been bought into like next year, maybe like April, May next year. But there's still plenty of time. And I want to say the best opportunity from where we are right now would be if the market pulls back to 210, find yourself a $400 Tesla option contract for next year. Hold on to it. It'll be a pretty decent leap. And you should make some pretty decent money by next year. My thing is always about trying to hold out for the longer term and not deal with the instant gratification. Instant gratification money, it feels so great. Don't let me take that away from nobody. It feels lovely to turn on the market and $500, $1,000, $2,000, right? The better money, in my opinion, is to hold out, get some good amount of contracts and hold out, and next time you open the contract a year later or 6 months later, and you're sitting on another $10,000, $15,000. Now, I'm not saying that it's not a good feeling to make that $10,000, $15,000 in one sitting, right? In a week, because that's also possible. But it's more stressful, and it's a lot more of you having to pay attention to the market. And I know a lot of us work and got other things to do than just sit and monitor all day. So with that said, those are the tickers that I'm looking at for next week. There are a few others. Those will be only posted in the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord to get all the alerts that I drop all the time, the link is in the description. Join the Discord. Join the forum on Facebook. Let's talk about it. Drop some trade ideas, bounce around some ideas if you'd like. Like and subscribe to this channel. Put your notifications on. Let's make some money together. Success takes accountability, commitment, knowledge, and sacrifice. And that's why I'm Stacks. Next video, we'll talk about some more.